our children. Honoring our children. Remember last week we talked about honoring father and mother? Let's talk about honoring our children. Subtopic, as it was last week, we are a team. Lesson 2. We are a team. Lesson 2. Now children are here today, so I don't have to do a whole lot of hooping and holler, right? All right? I want to make this so plain that it become teachable today for our children. We have to take time in church to teach, right? We have to take time to make sure that the message is first heard, understood, and hopefully applied. And it can be better applied if you understand it. So I may not get very high today in the spirit. All right? Then again, I may. All right? Amen. But I want to talk today, thank you so much. I want to talk today about honoring our children. We are a team, lesson 2. I have some scripture to give you later on. All right? So far, we have honored our mothers and fathers by acknowledging them on their special days. In May, we recognize our mothers, the mothers in our lives. Just last week, we honor and recognize the fathers in our lives. But who's going to honor and recognize the children? When will they get their day of honor and recognition? They are very much a part of this team we call family. Remember I said to you last week that the family is a team that God has put together. And every member of the team needs to be honored and recognized. So let's have a one-day seminar today and talk about honoring children. First thing we should perceive from the scripture is that the family was put together by God. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 27 to 28, and we read this last week. It shows us that the family is the brainchild of God, or it stems from the imagination of God. In Genesis 1 and 27, excuse me a minute, please. I gotta get my helpers. In Genesis 1, 27 to 28, it says, so God created human beings, reading from the New Living Translation, in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And look what God did afterward. Then God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. This is where children come into the picture. Then it says, fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea and birds in the birds in the sky and all the animals that scurry across the ground. So God created the family, he blessed it, and then he gave it dominion. He blessed the family and he gave it dominion. The family has dominion over the lower creatures of the earth. That's places God's seal, somewhat God's seal of approval on the household. All right? Next scripture we want to look at is Psalms 127, 3 to 5. Talking about honoring the children, but first we want to lay some foundation as it relates to the family. God's intent for it, God's blessings upon it, God giving it dominion. All right? Psalms 127. Verses 3 in particular. Children are a gift from the Lord. Children are a gift from the Lord. Now they may cause us woe, they may cause us problems, they may come through different means of, they may come in different fashions, but nonetheless they are a gift from God. Amen. To the what? To the family. They are a gift from God. They are a reward from Him. Children born to a young man are like arrows in a warrior's hand. How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. I better not comment on that too much. All right? There is a limit, of course. He will not be put to shame when he's confronted confront his accusers in the city gate. The thing that is to be noticed here, that in ancient times, children were a strength, support to the family. The more children that a man had, is the more warriors he had in his family. Even in time past, when America was more agricultural nation, when there were large families, well, those were good plowing hands. Those were good cotton picking hands. Those were good planting hands. All right, when a person had what, large family. So that was the benefit. The children were the benefit that God gave to the family as a gift to the family. Children are the extension of ourselves. Psalms 103, verse 17. Children are the extension of ourselves. Psalms 103 and 17. And it says, but the love of the Lord remains forever with those who fear him. His salvation extends to the children, or those who are faithful to his covenant and those who obey his commandment. Our children are extensions of ourselves. And the lesson that we as parents should be teaching them is what has been taught, the good things, the positive things that we have learned. This is why children look like us, act like us, sometimes behave like us, because they are an extension of us. And it is good that we be putting positive things in us, so we can encourage the legacy. See, what we must be careful in this generation is that we do not raise up a generation that does not know God. And if parents slack off on their job and making their children extensions of themselves, you that are believers, Christian family, if you slack up on your job, then we'll raise up a generation that don't know the works of God. And how pitiful that would be. We see some making of that now. A generation that comes up that resorts to all other things other than God. But children are an extension of ourselves. We as parents, it is our duty to teach and train them. 1 Timothy 3, chapter 3. Got to give you some New Testament as well. Do you enjoy the Word of God? All righty, praise the Lord. I want to make this very clear to us today. God placed children in the family for us to teach and to train them. Before we go there, let's go to Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6, before we go there. Deuteronomy chapter 6, 6 through 9. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 6 through 9. Here's what it says. And you must commit yourself wholeheartedly to those commands that I have given you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. I know God has talked to ancient Israel, but this is a message that shouldn't be lost to the church. Amen. Because we too are extend ourselves in our children. So God told the ancient Israelite, he said, I want you to teach your children. God said, and you must commit yourself wholeheartedly to these commandments that I have given to you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. That's what teaching is all about. Teaching is about repetition. Yes. Saying it over and over. Mama, you told me over. Mama, I heard over and over again. Yes. Teaching. And not just by words only, parents, but by what? Precept and example. Yes. Some people say children are best caught more so than they are taught. And what we have to do, we have to be consistent in our teaching and also model our teaching, parents. All right? Talk about them when you are at home. Turn the TV off. Hello. Turn the TV off for a little while. Put your cell phone down for a little while. All right. Talk about them when you're at home and when you're on the road. When you're riding along the car, rather than sliding a video, talk about the goodness of God. That's our role, parents. We are to teach them. the ways of God. Do not depend upon school to teach them. Thank God for Sunday school teachers. Thank God for elementary school teachers. Thank God for coaches. Thank God for mentors. But parents, we are the primary teacher. We cannot do it. Negate our what? Responsibility. God says that to Israel, and he says that also to the people of the Lord. Let me finish on a little bit more. All right. So teach them when you're at home. All right. When you are on the road, when you are going to bed. How many families actually have a bedtime prayer? Let me ask you a question. The rhetorical question. How many of us parents actually take the time and have a bedtime prayer for the children go to bed? No one asks the question. The rhetorical is just rhetorical. How many actually take time and read scripture to the children? This is what we are called to do, parents. The pastor can't do it all. The Sunday school teacher can't do it all. It is the role of the parent to teach the children. All right? Let me move away from that because I got much more to give you. All right, the other thing I want you to notice here is that I said earlier that we are to train them. 1 Timothy 3 and 12. I have a lot more to give you, but for the sake of time, I can't give it to you all. Can't give it all to you. All right. So 1 Timothy, since you want some New Testament, right? They want Bible preaching. That's what we're going to give them. They want Bible. That's what we're going to try and give them. All right. 1 Timothy. All right. This is a very interesting scripture here. Because, see, a lot of people gravitate toward leadership. They gravitate toward what? High position. Places of authority. But when you are a parent, your first responsibility is at home. When I was a young man, a young preacher, whatever, I can pick up my briefcase and God called me to go here and there, and my children running wild, I missed it. You're right. Your first line of business is at home. And this is what Paul tells Timothy. He says here, this is a trustworthy saying. If someone aspires to be a church leader, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, if someone aspires to be a church leader, he desires an honorable position. That's good, he says. So a church leader must be a man whose life is above reproach. He must be faithful to his wife. It's a marvelous thing when you see sometimes men are so friendly or women all over the place at work. They go, I told you about this fellow I used to work with, right? I worked with a guy when I worked at the funeral home. I told you about it, I worked with a guy at the funeral home. Man, he'd get out the door and slam the door on his wife. Then he would give her a good kiss. He didn't kiss her nothing, brother preacher. He just got out the car like they had just been arguing. He got out the car, slammed the door, and she went about it. Then he got out the car. Hey, baby, how you doing? Shook the girl. Hey, all the women over the door. Hey, baby, how you doing? He goes into the office. Hey, how y'all doing this morning? Good, how you doing? Give me a hug. And he slammed the door on his wife. But what we have to do, we have to take care of the matters at home. A brother, a preacher, a missionary that is married, make sure that you honor your own spouse. You can't be sugar up to everybody else and not lovely to your wife or your husband. All right? So Paul is teaching Timothy something. He's teaching him something. He said, if a man desires leadership, he must be faithful to his wife. He must exercise self-control, live wisely, have a good reputation. He must enjoy having guests in his home, and he must be able to teach. He must not be a heavy drinker or be violent. Here it comes. He must be gentle, not quarrelsome, and not love money. He must manage his own family well, having children who respect and obey him. Now this is mainly when they're in the home. Now when they grow up and get 18, 19, 20 hours, you want to do it, you're on your own. But in here, it's the truth. When you live in here, I told you last week, when you go in my refrigerator, and I'm taking you to what? Practice and hear that on my gasoline. Those Nike you got on, that's part of my paycheck. So when you're under your parents' roof, you become what? Subject to them. And children, this might seem hard medicine to swallow, but you're going to get grown. You're going to have children. You don't understand these things now. I'm going to tell on Melinda, all right? I'm going to tell on Melinda. I'm going to tell on Melinda right now. See you here? Okay. I said to the children, turn on some of these lights. Ain't nobody using it. I mean, nobody in the kitchen turn the light up. I mean, no one in the restaurant, so turn that light up. Save that energy. Save the energy. They don't understand that, right? But they don't pay the bill. So when she get old and I go to her house, turn out that light. Anybody see me? Turn out that light. Some of that you don't get to later on, huh, brother? Turn off that air conditioner. So we learn these things, and Paul teaches us at home. Let me move forward. Young people, what I'm going to share with you today is something that some of us does wish that our parents would have told us older. When we were young, excuse me. Some of the things I'm going to share with you young people today, and this is going to benefit adults as well, are some of the things that we wish our parents had told us when we were younger. Whether you're in school, out of school, on your way to college, or whatever station you are in life, we ought to be mindful of what we've been taught. All right? In time past, children were not expected to be seen and heard. They had little rights and hardly no say-so in any matter, even matters concerning themselves. Some of us can remember back then. And older days going past, you didn't get in grown folks' conversation. Even if they're talking about you. Children had little to say. They were what? Seen, but not heard. They did not have what? Impartation into a discussion. But those days have passed on. Why do you say that? Because we are living in a generation of information overload. And children will have access to the information. Computers are good, but now that children have computers, they can access it, but all the knowledge you can access. And thank God sometimes they put these kind of devices on computers so children can't wander so far. When they go to school now, computers are one of the first things they learn. And they live in such a generation now that information is just flowing. It's coming even in that direction, in all directions. Even their peers who may not be brought up in Christian home are informing them on something that they don't know about. All right? They are highly informed. In some cases, kids know more than we know about some of the practical things of life. When I need my phone updated, I can call Rachel. Something go wrong with the computer, I got to call Rachel. But they are what? They are advanced in knowledge. But still, there are some things that they do not know. There are some things in life they do not know. I would say this, that knowledge is good for young people as well as old people. Knowledge is good, but wisdom is better. Because knowledge is the ability on how to use, wisdom is the ability on how to use knowledge. So what we see in our generation is that our children have knowledge, but there's not a whole lot of wisdom there. And that's where we parents come into the picture. In order to teach them how to properly handle knowledge. That is one of our roles. Remember, I said that to you last week about knowledge, and what we say here is that it is the primary responsibility of parents to prepare their children for the world outside. Are you listening, parents? It is the primary responsibility of the parents to prepare their children for the world outside. Which is what? Sometimes a cruel world. But it is our job to enable them to experience life and then be able to handle life outside of the home. It is our primary duty to do this. And see, this is beneficial for us as parents and children. And I'll tell you why a little bit later, but let me say this. Mother and father is our primary duty to prepare and train our children to leave home, that is to leave the nest. It's not our job to help them to get comfortable in the nest, but to prepare them to leave the nest. I didn't say keep them out, right? But we must prepare them to leave. And I tell you, this is beneficial for both children and adults, because everybody needs their space. So it's beneficial for us to train our children, not just to stay home, get comfortable, and look for to be there for the long haul, but it's for us to prepare them to get out there and make it in a world that is very challenging. And if we do this properly, they'll come back to thank us. If we do this correctly, they'll come back to thank us for it. Because we want them to what? Be prepared for the world outside. The second part of this is that in preparing them, we are enabling them to live the life that God has given them. You have your life, parents, they have their life. You make your contribution to society, they must make their contribution to society. You have your God-given gift, they have their God-given gift that must be what? Utilized for God. So here's the reason why we must allow them, prepare them, train them to go and face the world outside so that they can exercise the gift and the calling in their lives. So they can make their contribution in society. Some of our children sitting here now, we don't know what they may be in the future. Some of them may be doctors, some of them may be potential lawyers, they may be potential politicians, maybe someone sitting here may be the president of the United States. But we as parents must prepare them for that. You see what I'm saying? We must do that. We must prepare. That is one of our responsibilities, because they must utilize their gifts and talent that God has given them. One of the greatest legacy parents that we leave for our children is to enable them to be able to think on their feet and to think for themselves. One of the greatest legacy, Sister Jana, that we can give to our children is to enable them to be able to think on their feet. What I mean by that, be able to make decisions standing erect. And sometimes maybe make quick decisions. And secondly, brother preacher, to learn how to think for yourself.
That's right.
Don't let other people do your thinking for you. What we don't realize, it's a very social society we live in. Sometimes you're looking at the news and they're trying to really influence your thinking. They'll say something like, all Americans agree on this. I don't agree on that. I'm American.
That's right. Say that.
And what we don't realize is a real subtle way they try to influence your thinking. I don't agree with that. I'm American. I've served in the United States Armed Forces. I'm just American, ain't no one else. But I don't agree with that. So we have to be careful about what society trends and their manipulative ways. But it is our duty, parents, to teach our children to think on their feet. It is our primary duty to teach them how to do things God's way. So here's what I want to say to you as I come to a close. Not ready to close yet, but I'm coming there. I want to talk about three things, specifically parents, that we should be teaching our children. I know I took the scenery route to get you here, but I want to talk just today, that many other things we can talk about, but just three things I want to inform parents that they need to be teaching their children. The number one thing, Johnny, is that we should be teaching them about how to establish and build lasting relationships. We need to teach our children about knowledge of how to have established sound and good relationships. Parents, especially Christian parents, we need to make sure that our children, first of all, have a relationship with God.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Christian parents, you need to be the one to introduce your child to God, that they might know who God is, that they might know who Jesus is, that they might learn to reverence God, that they might come to the point where they can love God and serve God. That is part of our responsibility as parents. It is the responsibility of the Christian parent to ensure that their children know God. Primarily, first thing, because when they get up and go off to school, let me tell you this. Many of you have been to college. And what we see, the trend is to go to college. The trend, I should say, when children go to college, They go to college Christian and come back atheist. It's true. I've seen it. They were brought up in a Christian household and family, but they were just going to church.
That's right. That's it.
They were just doing as parent instructed them, but they never came to what? A real relationship with Christ. So now when they get in college, the professor comes out and he's quite demanding, almost to the degree that he contingent your grades upon what do you believe, what he believes. I had a professor like that. I was in college, but I was a grown man, so he discovered, brother, that I was a Christian, and he threw out things that knowing I was a Christian class, trying to upset the car. But see, I was an older man, and I knew better. But sometimes our children are very vulnerable at the age of 18 and 19. They're very impressionable. And these atheist professors, agnostic professors, will sway them if their faith is not solid. You know what I'm saying? If they don't know in whom they believe, if they don't have a relationship with Christ Jesus, you'll send them away and they'll come back against everything that you ever taught them. So a foundation needs to be established. Children, parents, do this for your children. The other thing I might say is this, in terms of relationship, be careful of the attachment that you make as it relates to relationship in both male and female. Be careful, young people, and this is what we should teach our children. Be careful in whom you attach yourself to in relationship, male or female. You can invite some people into your life and you will never get them out of your spirit. Almost never. Until God come and make a deliverance. And someone can testify to this. You can join people to you and get acquainted with them and attach to them, and even when you dismiss them from your presence, they still in your spirit. Some of these folks around here tell you. So you need to be careful of who you attach yourself to. Parents, teach your children how to discern between genuineness and disingenuousness as it relates to people. Because some people just out there to exploit you. So it's the duty of parents to prepare their children and get them to to be able to recognize disingenuousness. Because it's out there in the world. Amen. So that's part of what we should be teaching. And if you're looking for a mate, young person, if you're in the business of looking for a mate, may I petition you and ask you to please do your research? Parents, teach your children to do their research. If someone is interested in you as being your mate, and I say of the opposite sex, that's what we teach. Someone that wants to be your mate of the opposite sex, make sure that you do your research. Find out about the person, know where he's coming from. If you need to do what they call it, identity check, do it. And this day is true. Find out about that person. I remember calling, I told Rachel, because I'm telling her, is she here? I can talk about it. I think we told this to Melanie as well. Listen, young people. If that's a young man who is interested in you, and he doesn't want to meet your parents, he is not a good mix. Vice versa. If he doesn't want to meet your parents, he is not a good mix. Because when you truly love somebody, you want to know all you can know about them. But if you're just only interested in what you see, the immediate, then it's not going very far. If a young man don't have the gall to get out the car and knock on the door, sit out there blowing his horn, he is not the one for your door. I'm just saying, but Jimmy, if he ain't got enough, I'm a teenager, if he ain't got enough courage to get out the car, knock on the door, introduce himself, he ain't the one for you. He just wants what he sees. And parents, we have to teach our children that. We have to teach them that. Learn how to discern genuineness in your children. I got to move on here. I got to move on. All right? So we got to teach them. All right? How to recognize that. Teach them how to what? Recognize what is phony and what is not. And some of us out here in the audience know about that. This is why parents can help your children, because some of us been there, done that. We've been connected to persons that were disingenuous. Some of us can write a book right now about fake persons. We can write a book, at least a pamphlet. Some cases, you know, series. So it's vital that your children listen to their parents. Do not think because the parents are where they are today that they weren't at one point in time where you are. I don't know why children think we just woke up. They really think, but we just woke up. Like we just woke up and just started this thing. The devil is doing the same tricks that he did years before past. He just dressed it up a little bit. He just put a wig on it and put some cosmetic on it. All right? Dignified it, put it in Jerry curls. But it's the same trick. So we as parents can help you young people in that regard. Let me move on to the second thing. Here's what I want to say also as to what we parents need to be teaching our children. Number two, Sister Jenny. Number two is parents, we should teach our children to establish a career for themselves.
That's right. Yes.
Establish a career for yourself. Know what you want to be and what you want to do in life. And we parents can help in that regard. Parents, do not be satisfied with your children when you ask them, what do you want to be? I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Now, at a certain age, that is acceptable. But no child at age 13, if you should ask them the question, what do you want to be like? I don't know. The sooner a child knows what he or she wants to do in life, the sooner you can get started in helping him or her. This is why some ethnicity largely outdo us. Because you can ask some of their children, they know already at 6 years old, I want to be a doctor. And here you ask a teenager, I don't know. Parents don't let them get away with that. We have to what? Somehow get it in their mind, help them to decide what you want to be in life. Establish a career for yourself. Something professional that you want to do. The reason why I say that, because the sooner you get started, the better off you will be. Amen. We have to do that for our children. This is part of practical living. Yes, we want them to be saved. Yes, we want them to know God. But as I first said, they got to live in a world out there.
That's right.
And guess what? Fast food jobs will run out.
That's right. Amen. That's right.
All the children can't do fast food. They're cutting hours on fast food.
All right.
What you said, Catherine?
Also taking those jobs down. That's right.
So here's the young person thing. When I'm going to work at McDonald's. For how long, baby?
That's right.
If you're going to work there, you go to school. You prepare yourself for the future. Don't get locked into McDonald's. I'm not demeaning the one that works at McDonald's. It's a good starting point. But you're a young person, you got energetic in your mind, you got energetic in your spirit. Amen. You can do more and better. You can achieve. You can be what? A doctor, a lawyer, whatever your pursuit is. Every young man can't be a basketball player. You better get a backup. Just in case that basketball don't work or you get injured, you better have a backup. So young people, get a career in mind. Parents, do not, I repeat, do not let them get away at age 13 or even 12, 13, 14. What you going to be, baby? I don't know. Help them decide. The sooner they get better, they start to better. Here's my last point that we parents ought to be teaching. We need to teach our children how to handle money. This is the big one. This is the big one, Cameron. This is the big one. We need to teach our children how to handle money. First thing we need to teach them, Sister Gabby, you listening? First thing we need to teach is this. Money does not define who you are or determine your worth or value. Money does not define who you are or determine your worth or value. You are a far more valuable person than any money you can earn or anything anybody can offer you.
That's right.
You are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Amen.
You are the apple of God's eye.
That's right.
You are his beloved. No price tag, no six-digit figure can determine your worth. Money is mainly a tool that God has given us to acquire things. It should never become a God for us to worship. Young people, trust in God, not in money. Because God can do things that money can't do. Sometimes God will give you favor. You may not have money, but God will give you favor. So do not what? Do not value yourself according to what you can and what you can achieve. The next thing we need to know, money cannot buy happiness. Money cannot buy true friends. Money certainly cannot buy eternal life. We must learn how to what? Trust in God. So we as parents must teach our children. Here's 3 things we need to teach our children about money, folks. First of all, sharing. Sharing money. Money is to be shared. And the first person you should be sharing with, and I like to use this topic, giving back to the giver. You young people that are working nowadays, give back to the giver. Who is the giver? Now, mommy, listen, God. Learn how to give back to God. Share it. This is good for you to learn how to give back to the giver. Every good and perfect gift comes from God. If it was not for God, you couldn't even get up in the morning and do nothing. I dare say if it wasn't for God, you wouldn't even have that job. God gave you favor in the interview. God gave you the ability to know how to answer the question on the test or what have you. God gave it to you. If God would have blocked your mind, you couldn't have been able to do anything. So learn how to give to the giver. Jesus told a parable one time. A wise man came to Jesus, all right, with a coin in his hand, right? And he said, he was trying to trip Jesus up, right? He said, so we give to God or Caesar? Jesus said, give me a coin. Jesus looked at it, who image is that on there? He said, that's Caesar. He said, well, then give to Caesar what is Caesar and give God what is God. And that's what we have to learn to do. Learn how to give God what is here, and God deserves everything. But listen, God is so generous, people. Young people, listen, God is so generous. Uncle Sam, take your money out of the check. Is it not? Look, did Uncle Sam ask you about paying taxes? Did he ask you how much you want to take out? Did Medicare ask you how much they want to take out? They took it out. Before you got yours, they took it out. The state tax asked you anything, the Georgia Internal Revenue asked you about taking anything out your check, they took it out. But God is so generous. He said, bring me your offering. Bring me your tithe and offering. God could have snatched it off. But he said, bring me a 10%. Bring me your offering. When we learn to do that, folks, we'll be blessed. So the thing you need to do is learn about sharing. Sharing money. Money to be shared. The next thing you need to learn, Sister Della, is investment. Do not spend everything that you earn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even when I was a young man, I had a little cigar box. Remember that cigar box? I had a little cigar box to wear. And when I get my little check, all my change I put in there. Come to the point in time where I had so much money there. Somebody help me out. But it was a saving. As your parent taught you to save for a rainy day. You need to learn how to invest, young people. Invest some of your money. All right? Put it in something that's going to give you return. And not necessarily immediate return, but long term. Is there any financials in the house? They talk about short term and long term investment. Maybe it'd be a good thing for a young person to buy them some saving bonds. Hello, some municipal bonds. Well, invest some of your money. Save some of your money for a rainy day. Wouldn't it be better for you if you had to borrow some money to borrow from yourself? You need a down payment for a car, right? And they say we need $1,000 down. Rather than go to bank, hey, I got $1,000, save that.
Right.
Invest. Save. Sharing, investing, and saving. Money is a tool, y'all. Money also is a test of our faith. Here's sometimes what young people don't understand when we teach this, parent. Money actually a test of your faith. You say you love God, you believe God, follow the money trail.
That's right.
When authorities are looking for a criminal, they follow the money trail. Because see, the money trail tells everything.
Yeah.
The money trail tells how faithful you are really to God.
Yeah.
Oh, I have faith in God. If you have faith in God, give him 10%.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Amen.
It's a test of our faith.
Go ahead.
It's not that God needs it. God is actually testing your faith.
That's right.
Whether or not you trust in money or whether or not you trust in God.
Amen.
This is a good thing for us parents to teach.
Yes, sir.
So teach how to what? Share, invest, and save your money. I want to say as I close that as it pertains to us parents, we have to be patient, prayerful, and persistent in our teaching by way of word and example. You know why? Because when you look at your children, you're looking at a younger version of yourself.
Amen. Yes, sir.
And you weren't always there, faithful, diligent, listening. When we look at our children, parents, we see an extension of ourselves. This is why we should exercise patience, be prayerful, persistent, consistent in what we are teaching. And I want to say this also to young person as well as older person. Spend some time with the younger generation, adults. Young people, spend some time with older persons. You see, here again, it is the endeavor of the society to divide the generation. They refer to young people as millennials. I don't see millennial in the Bible. They say we are Generation X. I don't see Generation X in the Bible. Oh, we Generation Y. Oh, we baby boomers. I don't see that in the Bible. God sees us as one, yet we have different age groups, different in spirit, but God sees his church and his body as one. So I challenge you young people, don't spend all your time with your peers. Hang out with some older persons. Get to know some older persons. And don't spend all your time with your peers. Involve yourself with children so you can learn their world. Because God has given all us gifts and talent, but God wants those talents to be united for what? For his purpose and for his kingdom. Do not let society divide us. We are one. This is one team. Children, you are part of the team that your mother and father had. You are part of that team. You are to contribute to that team. Work alongside of that team. Do not work against that team. Obey those that have been placed in authority on that team. And you will prosper. And you will grow. We are one team. The family is a team that can prevail and win in this society that we live in. We're outstanding. But if we're going to win the battle, if we're going to prevail over the present culture that is against family, we must come together as a family. Young people, do not ever view your parents as your enemies, your adversaries, and vice versa. You are a team. As I gave an example last week when I called Amanda Lee up and showed you what we can produce together as mother and father. Some of our best work comes when we work together. It's the same way with the church. Some of our best result. Now, I wasn't calling you, Melody. I just commended you on the job you did last week. You did a fine job last week. Right. But what we see is the beauty that comes when family works together as a team. Because a mother cannot produce a child by herself, nor can a father. But God blends the two and brings something beautiful when we work together. Family, we got to learn to work together. Husband and wife, do not work apart. Children, get on the team. You're already on the team, but work with the team. And watch God do great and marvelous things in you, through you and through your family. If there are young people here that desire prayer for any reason, we stand ready to pray for you. There may be some obstacle in your life, some obstacles, did I get it right? Obstacles, challenges in your life that are weighing you down. Have you talked to your mother about it? Young person, have you talked to your father about it? They're your team head. You talk to your peers don't have all the information. Your professor don't have all the information. But the one who loves you is your parents. They can advise you. They are the advisor that God set in the house with you on your team. If you desire prayer for any reason, please come. Mother and father, you're struggling with it? I'd like to pray for you today. One team. Prevail in the name of Jesus. Anyone that desires prayer, please come. Yes. Sister, you sing your song here today? Okay. Thank you, Father.
Lord, I'm available to you.
Did you get it, young people? Knowledge about relationships, knowledge about careers, knowledge about how to handle money.
I'll do
Just those three. Today, just those three. God wants to help you. Come forward. Don't be bashful. Come forward. Parents, if you're here, stand behind your sons and daughters. If you're here, parents, your team workers. I want to just be the coach today. But I want your son and daughter to feel your touch and feel your love. As you lay your hands on them. You are that source, great source. You're the one that God has placed in the household to be that champion. Young people looking for heroes among athletes, you are the champions. Parents, you are the celebrities. You are their heroes.
my will I give to you.
I don't think I'm going to ask what your needs are. I'm just going to ask you to God today, and we're going to pray. Sister Nancy, will you lay your hands on Darren? Thank you. You are his aunt. You feel the love. And what I'm asking, if you want to come, you're more than welcome to do something. Thank you, Father. Latoya's already in place. Liam's already in place. All right. Let's talk to God about those things that concern you. You don't have to tell me. I don't necessarily need to know. I care, but I don't necessarily need to know. I want you to tell God. And I want you to feel the love that comes to your parents as they pray, as we pray for you. Hallelujah. Jesus. Here stand these young persons with their struggles, their challenges. And some of them may be overweighted, cause them, Lord, to lose their balance in life. They may have made missteps and made mistakes and feel like they cannot correct them. They may be undecided as to what they want to do with their lives and how to manage their affairs. But if they feel the touch of their parents and the love and concern of their parents, as their heart beat with their parents' heartbeat, God, do something miraculous. Hey, your ocean. Jesus. together this team we call family. Give the young people to know that their parents are not their enemies. They are their best companions in life. And help us parents, God, to have sensitivity, patience, to be prayerful, persistent, loving in every act that we show toward them. Even if it's physical, Lord, help us to discipline them in love. They need us, God, just like we need our Heavenly Father. We need you, Lord, and they need you in our topsy-turvy world. Come alongside us and encourage us. Lift up our heads. Give the young people to know that they can do it. They can make it because they're part of a successful working team. We thank you, Jesus. Thank you for all the potential that lies in these young people. There may be lawyers, doctors, professional people standing right here who feel like they can't do it. But even today, Lord, while we're praying and their parents' hands are laid upon them, assure their hearts that they can do this thing. Let faith rise afresh in the name of Jesus. And those that are not here, we pray your blessing upon their household as well. We bless you, Jesus. And may you be the center of all their affairs. May they always reverence you, obey you, love you, and serve you. And we thank you for all the great things that you're going to do in their lives. And all the people of God say, thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Why don't you just thank him now? Why don't you thank him now? Thank him now for what he's going to do. You may not be able to see it. Parents, you may not be able to see it. Young people, you may not be able to see it. What God has for you is for you, Sam. What God has purpose for you, Darren, is for you. And he has put persons in your life to help you to achieve. Don't refuse their help. Don't discard them. They're on your team. Give God praise. We got give God praise. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. If they go to your seat, praise God. Keep those things in mind. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. We thank you, Father. We thank you, Lord. You more than anything. Yes, Lord.
Come on. Just wanna tell
Just want to tell you that I love you more than anything.
one more time and we're moving on. Say, I love you.
I love you, Jesus.
Oh, my Satan. Oh, shot. I just wanna tell you.
Just want to tell you
Shut up. Come on, everybody, open their mouths up. We're gonna sing it one more time. This is gonna be our last time.